Welcome to episode 6. My name is Abayemi Abioye, and today I'll be teaching you on how to use Power Pivot in Excel. Let's get into it. Pivot is available as an add-in in Excel. Power Pivot is a data model technology that helps you to create data models, establish relationship, create complex calculation used to analyze data, present insights in readable form. Now, Power Pivot helps us to do more beyond the limitations of Excel, right? You know, with Excel, there is a limitation of just above 1 million records of data that you can work with. But with Power Pivot, you can do more, right? You can go beyond that limitation. Now, that sounds quite interesting, right? Now, if you're using Power Pivot for the very first time, you need to enable Power Pivot in your Excel. Now, how do we do that, right? So after launching your Excel, I'm using Microsoft 365 Excel app. Right, so after launching, I'll go to File. Now, in my Backstage view, clicking File takes me to my Backstage view. I'll click on More. Now, you see Accounts and Option. I'll select Option. Now, that brings up to the Excel option window. Now, by the side, you see a bar. I'll click on Add-ins. Now, just below, you would see Manage. Now click on the drop down, select Com Add-in, click on Go. Now you see a lot of ads in here, right? But of course, for the purpose of this class, I would check Microsoft Power Pivot for Excel. Now click OK. Now great. Now you notice that the Power Pivot just got enabled, right? And you can access the Power Pivot on your menu tabs, right? Now I will click on the Power Pivot tab. Now there's an option here that says Manage. Now I'll click on Manage. Now clicking on Manage takes me to the Power Pivot window, right? And in the Power Pivot window, I can view and manage existing data models. I can create relationship. I can add calculations. Right, and also view the different elements that makes up the Power Pivot data model view. Right, right. Speaking of data model, a data model is a connection of tables, right? Often with established relationship amongst them, right? And all of that can happen within the Power Pivot view. Now, how do I import data into my Power Pivot view? Now, in the Power Pivot window, we have the Home tab, the Design tab, and the Advanced tab. Now, in my Home tab, now there's an option here in the Get External Data group that says From Database, right? So this is when you need to get data from a database, be it a SQL database or an Oracle database, right? But the file I would be importing into my Power Pivot is an Excel file. So I would go to From Other Sources, an option in the Get External Data group that says From Other Sources. So I would click on that, and that brings up the table import wizard. Now I will select the appropriate source, and like I mentioned, there's an Excel file. Now there is a group in here that says text files, and under text files we have Excel file and text file. So I'll select Excel file, I'll click on Next. Now it says I need to specify an Excel file path. I'll click on Browse. Now this directs me to my file directory, so I need to go select the file that I want to import into my Power Pivot. So I'll select the account table file. I'll click on Open. Now it's very important that you check this use first row as column headers, right? So with this, what Power Pivot does is to say your first row would be used as the header. So it's very important, particularly when you have some very funny characters or literals in your first row, right? So it's very important that you check that. Click on Next. Yes, so there's an option that says friendly name. So I'll rename this. So I'll name this as Account Table. Click Enter, then I'll click Finish. All right, great. So our data is now loaded into Power Pivot, right? So that's just how you use Power Pivot to bring in data. Now in our next class, we're looking at how to create relationship between multiple tables. So I'll see you in the next class. Catch you later.